First, I'd like to say that there is no law against opening an offshore account. Second, tax planning or tax avoidance is not an offense. It is only reasonable for anyone to arrange his affairs in accordance with the provisions of the law and regulations to pay the minimum amount of tax allowed, taking into consideration the deductions and exemptions provided under the law. Third, it is wrong and it is an offense to carry out tax evasion. That is to use illegal means to avoid paying the lawful tax payable. That's the difference between tax avoidance and tax evasion. Fourth, of course, corruption must be investigated, the corrupted must be charged and brought to book, because there will always be people who abuse the financial system for their corrupt designs. The question that has been brought up tonight is with regard to secrecy in offshore financial centers or tax havens. Secrecy is actually no longer an issue with offshore financial centers because of action that has been taken by the US and the OECD since 2009. In reality, the Pandora box, the Pandora Papers leak and the GFI, Global Financial Integrity on the illicit transfers, are part and parcel of a pushback by US and the European countries to the effects of globalization. The government wants a global minimum corporate tax rate. The last criteria that I have mentioned just now, where offshore centers and low tax regimes are able to still attract MNCs investments. And what is being pushed is a universal global minimum tax rate. That is what is going on. And why? Because this is the only way that the high tax regimes, the West, can hope to stop the flow of the MNC. And this is what Ms. Joe Biden have said when finally 130 countries agreed to have this minimum tax of 15%. How does this work? The FANG. FANG is F, Facebook, A, Apple, A, Amazon, N, Nike, G, Google. These are the biggest among the many MNCs who have moved their operations out of America and Europe. They've gone to Ireland, and US and the OECD countries find it difficult to stop. So that's what they're talking about. Mr. Joe Biden, President, is saying that finally, with this agreement on the global tax rate, we have a level playing field for American workers and taxpayers. So this is a cartel by the higher tax regime trying to push back the effects of globalization. So there are further statements made by President Joe Biden, and it's all talking about competition for jobs and industries where now they are able to compete, which previously they can't because of the differences in the corporate tax rate. And so finally, you have 133 countries agreeing to this global minimum tax. And here you are, the G7, happily agreeing to this global tax rate. And 132 countries, it is known as a success. And the Pandora Papers, published on 3rd of October, and the world leaders are meeting, and they are meeting on the 8th. So do you see the connection between the two?